Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror.
So today we're going to do our top 10 jump scares part 2.
So we did our first video and you guys really liked that. You asked us to do another one with some more jump scares that you guys loved, and we are happy to oblige because we really love these jump scares too. So you want to get us started with number 10?
Yeah, so number 10 is Signs, and this is the part where it's on the news and you have the alien and...
Move, children. Vamonos. It's
definitely one that you feel like you know it's coming, even if you've already seen this movie, and it gets you every time.
Right. I also want to add that this movie is severely underrated.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there.
And it's totally a horror movie, so.
100%.
Yeah.
Number 9, we have Grave Encounters. And we watched this for the first time when we were just dating. We got this little DVD that was like 10 chilling movies. And
I think we watched all of them in like a span of a weekend.
Yeah.
Like back in the good old days when you could go to Hollywood Video and pick out which movies you wanted.
Right. But this is the jump scare.
Hey, who are you? How come you're in here?
So every time I see that still, I love that effect to this day. It's kind of predictable now, obviously, but for a found footage film, that's still a great effect that I did not see coming because I knew no marketing in this film whatsoever. So number 9, Grave Encounters.
Number 8, we have Candyman, and this is a popular one. I feel like it's always on any commercial or things like that when we're talking about Candyman. It's the one where he jumps through with his hook through the medicine cabinet.
And Helen didn't even know this was happening.
No. So, which I think made it even more like terrifying. Yeah, and real because it was like a real, genuine fear.
From her, too. Like,
Right.
she really felt that. Number 7 is Lights Out. And we could have picked any part of this movie, but this is the one we went with right here. Again, such a great PG-13 horror movie with, sure, it's got a couple cheap jump scares, but overall, I think the jump scares were done very effectively throughout this film.
And the witch is terrifying looking. And I would never sleep with the lights off again.
And the fact that this started as a short film and still was able to do what it did as a feature, got to give all the respect out to Lights Out.
Number 6, we have Carrie, and it's obviously the ending. It gets me every time. It's a great jump scare.
And this is one that even back in the day when it first came out really shocked people. You know, because you really think you have the violin swelling, you have this great, amazing ending, and then this happens. So, number 5, we have The Blair Witch Project. So this movie has stood the test of time to me, and I know it's still very divisive on if people love or hate this movie, but that ending, you know, when you see him in the corner and then you get the hit and the camera falling, I just feel like that is such an amazing moment in cinema history, and I just could not put together a list without this one on there. It was hard not to put it on the first list, but you know, this is a jump scare that I think has stood the test of time, and I still love this movie to this day, and this moment still scares me to this day.
Yeah, this movie just definitely, it did something for the horror genre.
Yeah.
And I remember being terrified of this movie. Number 4, we have Smile, and yes, this one was on the trailer.
This is why we didn't put it on the last list.
Yeah, but it's this one.
Holly.
And again, we wanted to put it on the last list. It was ruined by the trailer.
But it's still a good jump scare, and I feel like even though we already seen it on the trailer, it was even more intensified in the movie.
Right. Number 3 is from one of the scariest movies ever, and it's Host, Shudder's Host. And this whole movie is just so fantastic. Like, it's so well done, and you have the ending. Like, what a perfect jump scare at that moment. I absolutely love it. And this is a movie that really took us by surprise.
Yeah,
when we watched it for the first time.
They made it during the pandemic and really you're like, what can they possibly do? You know, being on Zoom, and how could this be anything? And it was amazing.
The whole movie's great.
It's so good. It kept, it keeps you entertained
using
the
filters,
entire time.
that we all use, like the Snapchat filters, and doing all the different things they were able to do in this movie with the seance. They just absolutely knocked it out of the park.
And it just shows how well your actors are because they were interesting and you wanted to listen to them.
Right.
So they did a fantastic job with this movie.
Yep.
Number 2 is Hell House LLC, Carmichael Manor. And
My favorite of the bunch.
it's my favorite too. We did our top 10. Well,
Yep.
it wasn't top 10.
Top
'cause
four.
yeah. But this was my number 1. And this is one of the scenes that gets us every time.
Easily the best jump scare in this whole franchise.
It's so awesome because you're watching it and she's like,
going through the pictures.
yes, and then you get the girl right there standing next to her.
so good.
Like that could be happening to us right now, and
Right.
I would freak the fuck out.
Right. Now, number 1 may be cheating because it's not a horror movie, but it's a horror TV show, and it's my personal favorite horror TV show of all time, and it's The Haunting of Hill House. And
Oh, gosh.
it's Nellie in the car, man. Check this out.
To tell
I don't
you.
need to hear your excuses.
I'm not
or
making
your
excuses.
bullshit.
If you say that it make you scream the first time you watched it, you're either dead or full of shit.
If you didn't poop your pants the first time you
yeah.
watched it,
I had to wipe her.
he did.
But no, that moment was, and again, I know at times this sounds like the Mike Flanagan fan club. It is.
It definitely is. I love Mike Flanagan.
Yes.
There's not one thing that he's done that I do not enjoy.
Right. And his ability to tell a story and include scares and a jump scare of this magnitude was so well done.
Especially when you didn't even see it coming. Like,
Right.
you know, some of the jump scares, cheap jump scares, you see them coming from a mile away. This was not one of them.
No, this one was so well done. And on top of that, this whole show wasn't built on jump scares.
Right.
The show was built on being scary. And this jump scare just happened to come out and just shock you out of nowhere. So, number 1, Haunting of Hill House. So, let us know in the comments, guys. What are some of your favorite jump scares that we may have missed in part 1 and part 2? And would you like to see a third installment? Can we come up with 10 more jump
I think we
scares
can.
that we haven't talked about yet? Let us know down in the comments. We always love to read and respond to you guys. It makes this so overwhelmingly fun to be able to talk to you guys about these things. So
Because you're all amazing and we love you.
very, very much. So if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Our links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror,
Stay who you are.
and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.